Hello, everybody. We are here live at the number 38 for our Game 4 watch party between the Colorado Avalanche and the Los Angeles Kings. I am joined by Christian and Brennan here today. Today's watch party is brought to you by Surfside. Vodka, iced teas, and lemonade, zero carbonation means no bubbles and no troubles. And we are also brought to you by Bolle Sports. Sign up for a league with your friends or to make friends. Go to bollesports.com/Denver. Brennan, Christian, the Avalanche are up 3-0 over the Los Angeles Kings. They can close out this series tonight. Christian, how are they going to go and do that?
I mean, what they've been doing all series. Defensively, they have been phenomenal. Scott Wedgewood has been the best goalie in the playoffs so far. What did we say? The Kings have only have one 5-on-5 goal this entire series. 4 goals total, if I'm remembering correctly. The defense has been phenomenal. I think we're going to see an offensive outburst from the Avs today. We saw 4 goals in Game 3. I think we're going to see 5+ from the Avs today.
You would certainly hope so. I mean, it's been a strange series so far. I mean, the power play has not been great. 0 for 9 so far this series. Only a handful of goals so far. They've only broken above 3 goals once with that 4-goal outburst in Game 3. I mean, you look at the leading point scorers so far in this series. Artturi Lehkonen, 3 points in 3 games. No one else is above 2, where you got Landeskog, Waugh, Manson, and Devon Tays. Are we going to see an explosion from your McKinnons or your McCars today?
It has to be, right? I think McKinnon has been kept in check for a majority of the series. I think he is going to remind everyone how good of a playoff performer he is, because these past 3 games from him are stuff we haven't seen in his entire playoff career, where he's been held off the score sheet for 2 straight games. Hopefully not 3 straight games. But I'm excited to see what McKinnon does. I think Natchez is going to have a big game as well. And I think the Avs are going to be able to close this out tonight.
I would certainly hope so. Brennan, we talked about the Avs power play so far this series. Right now, they are 0 for 9. Is it big for them to get on the board so far in this game?
It has to be. They need to break through in order to get some momentum to go through into the next round. If they don't do that, they're going to struggle through in the next round and the round beyond. It was what kicked them out in the last year. I think that if they don't get it going, they're going to struggle throughout the whole playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you've looked at a lot of the things so far in this series. Like we talked about on our last episode, a lot of the things you bring up, you'd say, maybe the series isn't going super well right now, where your leading point scorer is Artturi Lehkonen with 3 points. McKinnon only has 1 point. Nazem Kadri so far in the series only has the 1 point still on the overtime winner. Marty Natchez with 1 point, and Cale Makar only with the 1 point being the goal in the last game. And like we called the 0 for 9 power play. But at the end of the day, it is 3-0 Avalanche, and they can close out this series tonight. Like we talked about already here, it feels like they are still due to find that next level. And if they can just find it once here, the series is done, and they can almost have a week off, basically, because right now, Sunday, probably the and Minnesota indeed go that full 7. You could be looking at an 8-day break here. But also, is that something you want for this team that struggled after?
It's a tough road. It's hardest 16 wins of the season. You're going to be playing a lot of intense hockey these next coming weeks. You take the breaks whenever you can get them, especially where we're seeing it start to show now. Josh Manson missing the game tonight with an upper body injury, and you need to just get him fully rested. I would welcome the 8 days off.
Exactly. Like we said, like Nazem Kadri as well. He's dealing with a still. I think you would agree that's probably Avalanche, if they can wrap this up here, to take a week off, get these guys healed up before they really get to the meat of the playoffs.
Well, and I pointed it out in the last article on our website that could be the problem, what's leading to put more pressure on his stick, shoot the puck, things like that, because he's on the anything with it. And then, of course, rest versus rust, to go with Christian's point, do you even want to get that rest with Wedgewood? Because of rust, if he's sitting too long, it's going to be a problem.
If they lose tonight, Anze Kopitar go down 3-0 and get that what feels like a death sentence, especially in the first round. How do you think there's any more desperation coming
with desperation no matter what. They're seeing the line. I think we're going to see a very similar first period where I think at the halfway point of the first period last game, it was 11-5. God gave them a 1-0 lead. We're going to see that same desperation from the Kings. But the key for the Avs in this game is if you can go up by 1 or 2 and get the Kings out of that defensive shell that they play in, you can open up some opportunities, and that's where McKinnon and Natchez can take over.
Exactly. We've talked period of game 3. 2 of the goals for the Kings in the series have been at 6-on-4 with late power plays, and the only other goal has been at 5-on-4 late in the third period of game 2. If you're even able to knock out those 2-man advantages late in the third, you're eliminating half of the goals. So some offense due for Kings to, but it still feels like throughout this series, the Avalanche have been built to handle, right?
They're built for this. They're built for this moment. I'm very excited to see what they can do in this game. For wrap it up, get ready for that series, and let's just wrap this one up here tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Big thing for the Avalanche in this series so far has been their penalty kill. Granted, it has been the thing that's given up the most goals so far in the series, but going to get a bunch of power plays in this game. How important is it for the penalty kill to continue to step up?
They got to stop Panarin. That's the big role. That just stop Panarin. He's the only one who's been scoring on the power play for him. So just all eyes on Panarin at this point.
Exactly. And yes, like we talked about for the Kings, Anton Forsberg has been phenomenal. But to this point, 3 games into this series, the MVP for the Avalanche has been Scott Wedgewood. He's going to, of course, get this.
I don't even think he needs to stay super hot, man. He just needs to keep making the saves that he's been making. I know that sounds very easy, but he's made every save that he's been able to see the puck and stop. The defense has made it very easy for him, and he's rocking like a 940 save percentage this series, something ridiculous like that.
He's rocking a 947.
Oh man, you're not going to win very many games.
A 1.28 goals against average. He's made 76 saves.
Get Blackwood
so far
in
in this
No,
series.
I'm kidding. Wedgewood has been phenomenal. Hopefully he keeps that up. And to be quite honest, this is what we've seen all regular season from him. This is nothing new. This may be new to the fans who are tuning in to the Avs a little bit later. Scott Wedgewood has been this good all year.
Yep.
He led the league in save percentage, led the league in goals against, should be a Vezina finalist, probably won't get it just because of the fact he had to split time with Blackwood. But this is not new for Scott Wedgewood. And you just ride the hot hand. We've talked about this on the pod before. Don't overthink it. Just keep playing Wedgewood. There's no need to mix it up right now. He has been phenomenal, and I fully expect him in game 4 to have another great game.
Exactly. Yes, and we've talked about the Kings offense so far. Do you think there is any potential that they might start to get a couple of things their way? Are you concerned of how maybe the Avalanche got 2 pucks to go their way in game 3 with the bounce off of the backboards and the bounce off of Adrian Kempe's skate for the shorthanded goal? Is there any concern with that, or are you more confident that, well, the Avalanche haven't played their best, they still have that other level to climb way more than the Kings?
I'm more confident in the fact that the offense is going to pick it up. This is the highest scoring team in the league. They're going to start scoring some goals. Yeah, we got some lucky bounces in game 3. I don't think they're going to need them today, but just get those pucks on net on Anton Forsberg. He's been a little leaky with his rebound control. Get in front of the net, clean up some juicy rebounds, and the Avs will sweep this series.
Yeah. Question for both of you that you can both answer. I'll start with you, Brennan. Who do you think needs to step up the most in this game? Obviously, McKinnon only has 1 point, and Makar only has the 1 goal so far in the series. Is there anyone else right now you can look at and say, for the Avalanche to wrap this up, they're going to need to have a great night?
Well, McKinnon's one, like you were saying, but Nichushkin, I think, needs to step up a lot more. He doesn't have any points, if I recall correctly. And then Lehkonen, I think, needs to get to the front of the net a little bit more, but he's already got the 2 points. Ross Colton had an opportunity to get into the lineup last game, but unfortunately didn't take advantage of it. So I think he needs to step up and prove that he deserves to be in the lineup.
I mean, that was a great answer. I love the way that Landy's playing. For me, it's Brock Nelson. I know he got that empty netter in game 3. He made that phenomenal play. But what was the difference in the first round series last year? Brock Nelson, 0 goals. I think he only had, 1 or 2 points in that series?
Handful of points.
Handful of points. Brock Nelson is your second line center. You need him to step up a little bit more. It really goes to that entire second line. I think you really need to see more from them. But I think it's going to come. I think that empty net goal from Brock is going to really get the scoring started for him.
I would agree with that. Brock Nelson would be my choice as well. Good to see him get on the board, empty netter or not. I mean, it was a big empty netter. The Kings were pushing at that point, and he makes the great pickoff of Ante Kopitar to put that game away. I would agree that it's basically the entire second line. Because, again, you look at the guys that have 0 points. I mean, we've mentioned Val Nichushkin. We've mentioned, but it's a lot of guys, your defensemen like Malinsky and Burns, Parker Kelly. I feel like the bottom six has been a big difference maker so far in the series. The fourth line has been brilliant. You just need to look at Logan O'Connor and how great he's been so far in this series. Even a guy who's out of the lineup, I would imagine, right now with Joakim Raanta played great in the 2 games that he was in. And Jack Drury, again, has still been excellent as well. I think if the second line is able to just find anything in this game, whether that's Brock Nelson, whether that's Val Nichushkin, whether they end up, I don't know if we have the official lines quite yet, but yes, we have our lines. It's going to be Colton on the second line with Nelson and Nichushkin, and they're going to keep Landeskog down there with Kadri. And while if you can get anything from that second line, I don't think it's a question that the Avs are going to find a way to win this game, because even with the first line struggles, you've seen them be able to come through at some point for at least one. You know they're due for something. McKinnon's too good. Natchez is too good. Lehkonen already has 2 in this series. You know they're going to get one. You feel confident in your bottom 6. They're probably going to find a way to win at least their matchups and not be a negative so far in this game. If you can get something from your second line, you're pretty well set up for success.
Oh, here too. Arturi Lehkonen. We talk about this on the podcast many times. Arturi Lehkonen may be the most underrated player in the NHL just for the simple fact he is a playoff performer. He shows up in the big moments. Just look at his history of big games. Just look at him. And you know what Arturi Lehkonen, that second and first line going, there's not many teams in the NHL that can hang with the Avs.
Exactly. Yep. Lehkonen has always been that secret weapon for this injury. He has his first goal of the season in game 1, and he has still looked incredibly solid and done a great
outmatched, outclassed. What can we say? The Avs have dominated so far, and I think they're going to continue to do it.
It's been a weird series in that way, where the Avalanche, you do feel like, have dominated a little bit, but because of how close the games have been through the first 3, especially the first 2 right now. But defensively, that's what the main storyline people are talking about with the Kings, when it's the Avalanche, who have been near perfect defensively outside of a couple of gaffes late in games on the penalty kill. And if they can just close it out today, not just baseline, not take a dumb late penalty, and be able to find goals in this game. So historically, we've seen a high-scoring offensive game for whatever reason. We've seen weirder things in hockey. The Avalanche are built to win that way as well, Brennan.
Yeah, and I think that this game is going to be a high-scoring affair. That scoring is just going to open up, and you're going to see everyone get comfortable with the scoring. So
the Kings, desperation-wise, are going to open up a lot more offensively. They have to score in the series. This is what we talked about coming into the series. But the Kings have a lot of trouble scoring if they even want to just extend their season 3 more days. Monday.
Yeah.
We have another 2-day break in between.
Yeah, let's wrap this up here.
Further to the point of let's wrap this score in the series if they want to extend it, but then that opens them up to a counterattack from the Avalanche, the highest scoring team in the NHL. It just feels like a double-edged sword. Can they drag this game down into the mud again, try and just pray they can find maybe more than one in a game like that? Like that feels like the problem here. Defensively, they're great, but offensively, they don't have enough to back it up.
They stink. They stink offensively. I mean, it's what DJ Smith say after game 1. The Avs aren't going to win many games scoring 2 goals. They've won 2. Yeah, they won 2. So I have pretty good feeling. I agree with Brendan. It's going to be a high scoring game. I think we're going to see.
What's high scoring?
Little Edmonton Oilers, Anaheim Ducks vibes.
Ooh, that's a tough bar to climb. They're at what, like over 30 goals?
30 goals, yeah.
Already.
I don't know if the goaltending will be that bad, but I do agree with Brendan. I think we're going to see a little bit more high scoring game. But I do think they have to wrap this up and come back to them.
I feel a very game 4 against Nashville a couple years ago kind of game, with it ended up being a 5-3 victory for the Avs with a third period comeback. I don't know if the Avs have to come back in this game. I do think they score the first 2 goals of this game here, and maybe the Kings are able to mount a little bit with their desperation as well. But I agree. I think I think I'm gonna stick with the score last game. I think 4-2 sounds right here.
Okay. Brendan, what do you got?
Well, and I think that the veteran presence for the LA Kings is going to step up a lot in this game. You're going to have Doughty, you're going to have Kopitar, you're going to have those players that are going to be stepping up and putting in a lot of effort and trying to push those young kids like Brent Clark ahead and try and give them.
That guy.
What's that?
I hate that guy.
Yeah.
I hate Brett Clark.
Well, good player, but
Who's the name of the big guy
which
on their third line? 79 Hewlison or something like that.
Hellenius?
Oh, yeah, that guy sucks too.
but anyways, I think the veterans are going to try and they're going to do a great job of trying to push the and probably see the highest scoring affair.
Yep, I would certainly hope so. But it's like we've kind of mentioned a little bit here, kind of brushing over. If the Kings lose, this is Anze Kopitar's final game. A very long historic career, a lot of Selkies, 2 Stanley Cups. And if the Avalanche do win, this is the end. Do you feel anything about that at all? Or is that something we'll worry about after the series?
Worry about after the series. I also think Anze Kopitar could play another 5 years if he wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
That guy's still got it. But I'll think about that if we win.
Exactly.
At end of an era for Kopitar if it is his last game.
Yeah, and you have to imagine maybe a guy like Drew Doughty might not be that far behind as well. Like the changing of the guard could be coming for LA here, and it does feel like they missed an opportunity in Game 2 to get on the board in this series, and then at home missed the opportunity to stay in the series. Now it's just all about, can we give Kopitar 1 more game, 2 more games? How long can we extend this, or is this just we did everything we could and we couldn't find a way to get it over the finish line against this Avs team?
I don't think they're going to be able to find a way, but also credit to the Kings. They've hung in the series more than I thought they would.
Yeah, exactly. Like this was a team that struggled to get wins in the regular season, and let's be honest, got in with a lot of 20 loser points, 21 loser points. By the end of it, the most in history. No one gave them a chance. They've hung in, and I think they've earned some respect around the league. But for the Avalanche, they have proven to be the better team in this series, and if they're not able to wrap up tonight, that's going to be on them.
Exactly. But we're coming up on game time, right? We got 8 minutes.
Got 8 minutes or so until game time. I imagine we still got a little bit of time here to kill before we are officially ready to get into Game 4. If we want to briefly talk about looking around the rest of the NHL before we get fully into game action here, we can look at the series that affects us the most. Dallas Stars, Minnesota Wild, tied at 2, which I think we kind of all expected coming into this. The last 2 games of Minnesota both go to overtime. Dallas wins Game 3 in double overtime. Minnesota wins Game 4 with about 30 seconds left in the first overtime. How are you feeling that series is heading right now?
If I'm being honest with you right now, I don't know how the Stars keep getting away with it. Like they are terrible 5-on-5. They could be one of the worst 5-on-5 teams to make the playoffs. It is insane to watch them, but they convert on every single power play.
They do.
Every single one.
Every single one. I mean, they scored 2 goals in the last game. They're both on the power play there. I'd imagine more than half of their goals in this series have been on power play.
It's insane.
Right? Yeah.
It's insane. They can't keep getting away with it. Minnesota's hung in there a lot more than I thought they would. Selfishly, as an Avs fan, I want Dallas. I want to get over that hump. I want to beat Dallas in the second round. And it feels weird to say that, but we're going for Dallas.
Yeah, it's like I want Dallas. Yeah, go ahead, Bert.
Yeah, retribution.
Yeah, where
years of retribution.
Like a lot hung up there as well. But with Minnesota, like you just want that series to win. You if Dallas up 2-1, you want Minnesota to win that game. You don't care who wins Game 5 as long as it just goes as long as possible, and then you want whoever lost Game 5 to win Game 6.
Correct.
You want this to go as deep as humanly. Been a fantastic series from an outside perspective. This has been probably the second most entertaining series
100%.
of the first round outside of Montreal. And they could be done on Sunday with 8 days off. And if that series goes 7, they would wrap up next Saturday in 6 days and have 1 day off before the beginning of.
Let them beat each other up as much as possible. and then the Avs can take up a beat up either Stars or Wild, and then with us being on rest, we'll take them.
Exactly. We have one series that is already done. Carolina beats Ottawa in 4 games in a sweep, but also in the East as well. You have the Flyers or the Penguins extending that series to a 5th game.
Tough for me. Tough for me.
Tough one. They only
bad.
score 5 goals in this series.
They kind of stunk. I should have known Carolina first-round merchants.
So I was trying to tell you, buddy.
Yeah, that was a mistake on my part. The center. Yeah, and then you had Ridley Gregg punch in. Who was that? On hand up.
Yeah.
Accountability.
Yeah, Ottawa's got a lot of work to do, I think, when it comes to building that roster. Great to see them in the playoffs 2 years in a row, but Carolina showed them how far away they are right now. Brady Tkachuk with a goose egg in 4 games. Like if that's your guy, that just absolutely cannot happen at all when it comes to this. Look around the rest as well. Buffalo is 2.5 minutes away from going up 3-1 on the Boston Bruins. They are up 6-0 right now, and I think as well. So I feel pretty safe saying the Sabres will be up 3-1 in that series. They can wrap this thing up in Buffalo for Game 5.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
I love it. I love the Buffalo Sabres. I want the Sabres in the Avs match. Very excited for the Sabres, and they just kicked the crap out of the Bruins.
We go down in the Atlantic as well. Tampa, Montreal, every game has gone to overtime. That goal from Lane Hutton in Game 3 to win it for Montreal. Like, that is just such a energy electric in that building. Is Tampa going to be able to get this series tied?
Oh, yeah. I think so. I think. I hate it.
Well, it's Montreal's got the young talent. They've got the fire. They've got the city that's sitting behind them with the encouragement to try and get past this first round. I think St. Louis got the experience to try and coach them through. Not to say that John Cooper doesn't, but there's more encouragement in my eyes to try and get past this first round and take down a former Stanley Cup champion.
Yeah. But I think for Tampa, that motivation's there as well. There's a team that's lost to Florida in the first round 2 years in a row and been embarrassed in the first round 2 years in a row. If they lose this series, like, there's going to have to be some.
4 straight first round exits?
I
3?
believe so.
3 or 4?
Yeah.
Well, and to for St. Louis to take out his former team, which he won the cup with, I
just can't.
but for him to take out that team, it's a storybook for him.
I mean, the margins have been super close in that series. Let's wrap up with the rest here. We go to the Pacific. Utah up 2-1 on Vegas right now. An electric Game 3 in Utah. Vegas is going to have to be fighting from behind here, but this screams a 7-game series.
It screams 7. Vegas' goaltending is one year, and it cost him in Game 3. Carter Hart gives up 4 goals on 8 shots. To be better. Utah, electric crowd. I expect that series to go 7 as well.
Right here. Get down to Edmonton and Anaheim, which the exact opposite of the Avs and the Kings so far in the first round. Game 1, 4-3 for the Oilers. Game 2, 6-4 for the Ducks. And we are still talking about the Edmonton Oilers goaltender.
Yep.
I don't know how anyone there.
Things never change. Shout out Evan Bouchard. You are up there. You're going to be a Norris finalist this year. Evan Bouchard. Somehow.
That's the truth. And
hey, the Bruins scored. Not getting shut out.
Oh my gosh.
Game's not over. 5 goals in 39 seconds. It can happen.
Can they get 5 goals in 39 seconds?
No.
Come on.
Not
But anyways, we're going to probably see a turnover with the Edmonton coaching staff, especially the goaltending scouting department, and try and clear house over. But
you would certainly think so, because this is a pre-pandemic problem for the Edmonton
Right.
Oilers that has been going on for the 7 years, it feels like, at this point. But we are getting down to the very end of it here. The puck about to be down for Game 4 between the Colorado Avalanche and the Los Angeles Kings. Once again, come join us down here at the number 38. We've got a beautiful place to watch here, brought to you by Surfside Vodka Ice. Sign up for a league with your friends, or to make friends, you can go to bolesports.com/Denver. But that is going to do it for us on this pre-game show. Me and Christian will be back with our post-game after Game 4 to talk about a sweep or to talk about Game 5 of this series. But that is going to do it for us. We will see you later. But until then, let's go Avs.